Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 545 and Doubleshot number 451. Two Spider-Man Deadpool trades. I forgot to mention this in my last video. Some probably noticed that I look a little bit different. Like, where's part of my goatee? Well, I'm surprised that no one is about to notice this. Okay. The reason why I shaved it off was because work. My current job I have right now is that I couldn't have the hair on my chin part of my goatee. I couldn't have the spot. I kept the mustache. I was able to keep that and my sideburns that I've had for a long time. I was happy with the fact I kept these things. But for work, I had to shave it off. It was sad to see it go, but I might grow it back if, in fact, I decide to stop working for Walmart. Not Walmart. McDonald's. Yeah, I work for McDonald's now. I start working. Today was my second day of work. All right, but let's talk about these two Spider-Man Deadpool trades. First up, now I'm doing volumes 3 and 4 of the trade series. Here's 3. It's called Itsy Bitsy, and 4, which is Serious Business. Yeah, I will talk about this one in a minute. Excuse me. First up, it's this book, Itsy Bitsy, which collects issues 9 through 10, 13, 14, and 17, 18. Yeah, this is pretty much the end of Joe, Kelly, and Ed McGuinness's run. There is something I would like to talk about this particular run. Okay. For some strange reason, I have no idea why in the world that Marvel allowed these two to get away with this. Apparently, they either stuff was being delayed or something. I don't really know. It's one of the most bizarre things I have ever seen. When it comes to this particular series. Why? Because either that their scripts were late, and that's the reason why they had to bring in fill-in writers, or 2, they just didn't care. Because for their epic run they had on this book, it is not very long. Even though, yes, it lasted for almost 2 years. Yes, it's indeed true when it comes to that. But when it comes to the series itself, I want to be correct about this thing. Okay, now, there are at least a couple issues that actually are not in this trade, and that is, if I can find the correct issues here, yeah, there's a couple issues not in these trades, and that's issues 15 and 16. And there is a very good reason why those 2 issues are not in this trade. The reason is because they're part of a crossover known as Till Death Do Us Part, a crossover that got rid of Deadpool's wife. A story direction I really enjoyed. I'm sure a lot of people who was reading Deadpool really enjoyed it too, but then for some reason Gary Duggan got rid of it after being around for about 4 or 5 years tops. No idea why in the world he got rid of it before, but he did. Yep. Now, with this particular one, these are Joe Kelly and Ed McGuinness's last issues. Yeah, this Itsy Bitsy storyline, which also involves Deadpool time traveling to meet up with Spidey for some reason, I don't know why. If you wonder what Itsy Bitsy is, it's this strange creature who wears this bandana mask, who covers up his mouth, basically it's very disgusting mouth, and wears a shirt that practically has the logo of this particular comic book on it. For no reason. And she keeps calling Deadpool Daddy. Like, apparently Deadpool is her father, even though that Deadpool has nothing to do with her creation at all. If you wonder what she looks like, or a proper look at her, This is kind of a good look at her. I mean, she's got 4 arms. She's kind of like a spider. And I don't know, she might be mutated or something. Also, the one thing that to know this is the run for Joe Kelly and McGinnis is the fact Deadpool's handsome. And when this run ended, he went back being butt ugly like he normally is. This storyline was interesting, I gotta say the least. Now, yeah, and it says it's the daughter of both Spider-Man and Deadpool, which is really bizarre. Oh yeah, and she hates Peter Parker for some reason. No idea why. But this was a little fun little story. But as for a way to end the really good run by Joe Kelly and Ed McGinnis, it's a pretty decent ending to it. I just don't really understood why in the world this storyline was delayed for so long. I mean, yeah, this storyline was in fact 6 parts. But why in the world were they allowed to have this storyline be delayed for like no reason at all? I mean, if you want to look how many issues they did for the series, I can look it up right now. They did the opening 5 issues, and then for some strange reason, they opened 5 issues, and then they skipped issues 6 through 7 for no reason. And then issue 8, and then they did 9, 10, and then 13, 14. They skipped 15, 16 because, well, part of the crossover, and it ended up with 17, 18. Basically, they did 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So out of the first 18 issues, they only did 12 issues. Not kidding. That's my only complaint when it comes to the run, where it was delayed for no reason at all, of why in the world they were allowed to skip issues for some reason, and allow these filler writers to fill in. The filler stuff was not bad. I thought it was actually really good. I actually kind of like what they did. Though with the filler stuff basically kind of tied to some classic Spider-Man stuff, which is amazing. Like Spider-Man going to the movie studio that he actually went to way back in Spider-Man Volume 1, number 14. Yep. But as for this is pretty good. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. This one is just pure fun. Now, this writer will only stay on just for this storyline, and then I think it's staying for a little bit after this one, because after this, I think they decided to have Deadpool and Spider-Man fight each other for no reason. Now, this is called Serious Business, and yes, Slapstick is in here. Yeah. Who last appeared in the Deadpool comic book. He was part of the Merc's Money. Oh yeah, and Madcap tried to kill him. Yeah, Madcap, who is currently a parasite, and he was dumped into space. This is done by a couple different people. The main writer of this is Joshua Krillin. Yeah, that's the one who does the writing duty for issues 9 through 20. The first 2 issues. The last 2 issues are written by Elliot Cullen. The first 2 are done by Will Robinson, who does the artwork for it. The last 2 issues are done by Todd Nunick. Yeah, there's a couple different 2-parters in here. Yeah, the first one is, well, with the cover being a very blatant homage to the poster for One More Day. Yep. Yeah, for some reason, I don't understand why in the world they did this. The title was homaging classic cover for some reason. Yep. This first 2-parter was all about tying what happened with Amazing Spider-Man number 2. The first one, not the one that was published in 1989, not the one in 2014, and definitely not the one published in 2015. The original one. All dealt with the fact a guy was apparently killed during a battle between Spider-Man and the Vulture for some reason. Yep, and they go to warehouse and get negatives, and they run into Slapstick, which is pretty funny. Oh yeah, and the guy can't die, which is weird. And the last 2 issues, well, Spider-Man's in Murder World for some reason. I don't know why, though. Yeah. For anybody who's a huge Spider-Man fan, you gotta love the fact that the artist basically loves homaging covers. I gotta show this off for this one. I forgot to show this off. Now, this one's original. But there is one cover that does homage a classic Spider-Man cover. Here's one right here. Oop, if I can get it. Here's the first one I noticed, so that's a homage to a classic Spider-Man cover. I'm trying to think though. I think this was a nod to something to do with it wasn't 100. No, it was I'm not really sure though. I know it was a Spider-Man cover, but I'm not sure which one though. But this was a homage to a classic Spider-Man cover. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last issue has nothing to do with it. Also, everybody's least favorite character who pops up in the Spider-Man book, Mephisto, pops up in here as well. To make a reference to One More Day. For no reason. Yeah, they did do this early on with issue 8. Yeah. But there's more. 17 is not the only one that does a homage to a classic Spider-Man cover. Nope. Well, 19 does. I just showed that one off. 20. Let's see. Let's see. 20. 20 is definitely not. I know 21 is definitely not. I only can think of a couple. Yes. But yeah. Arcade comes back. First time he popped up that I could think of when he popped up in this book. I would say it's the first time since Avengers Undercover that he's popped up. And he's still doing the same stick. Oh, he kidnaps people, puts them through murder world, stuff like that. Yeah, there is nothing new with this character at all. It's always fun to see this character pop up. But Spider-Man knew right away the fact this was Arcade. And for some reason, after capturing him, he handed him off to the X-Men. Because he didn't know what to do with him. Oh yeah, he did make reference to the fact that, yeah, I fought this guy first. Yeah, there's a good reason why he made that reference. So, there's no editorial note in here. Nope, there's none. Now, what is mean by that? If you read the first time that Spider-Man teamed up with Captain Britain, which was also his very first American appearance, first American comic appearance, which I believe that was like Marvel Team Up, I believe it was issue 65. Yeah, 65. It was the first time these two ever teamed up, and this was a two-parter, which introduced Arcade, and then later on became a recurring X-Men villain. Now, he gave it to the young Cyclops from the past, who had no idea what to do with this guy, and he had never heard of it before. Which makes sense because he comes from Uncanny X number 8. Yep. But as for the Vulture story in here, the story that loosely ties into, well, Amazing Spider-Man number 2, that I think was done as sort of a loose tie-in to help promote Spider-Man Homecoming, because the Vulture was the main villain, so why not make a reference to it? Terrific idea, Josh. Josh Crowlin. Yep. That was a good idea. And of course, Dorian Slapstick was something of a pure delight, and the fact that, well, Slapstick and Deadpool don't like each other very much. Now, the thing with him is, I think I don't remember who created Slapstick. I know he first popped up in the 90s in, let's see here. Okay, here he is. The people who created Slapstick were Len Comc and James Fry. Oh yeah, and he looked completely different. when he first popped up in his own comic book. Yeah, but I gotta say, overall, he didn't really change all that much. I mean, yeah, his straight hair became curly. He still pretty much does the same stick he's always known for doing, basically be there as a comedy act. Though I think he predates Deadpool by a few years. hmm Actually, no, he makes his debut a year after Deadpool does, because Deadpool first popped up in 1991, and this character made a debut in 1982. So, roughly a year apart. And I kind of get why Gary Duggan put part of the Mercs money, because, well, he's a character that nobody at Marvel is currently using, so why not have him be part of Mercs money, though he later quit. He was part of the first incarnation of Mercs money, though I think he quit. Yeah, he quit. Along with a bunch of other characters. Yeah, the Mercs money, yes. Slapstick was part of the original incarnation of the Mercs money. Yeah. If you wonder what happened to them, I don't have any idea what happened to the Mercs money. Yeah, and it was a much larger group. I mean, besides Deadpool, you have Fool Killer, Madcap, Massacre, different Massacre, not the one from Spider-Man. Yeah, it was a handful of characters. Oh yeah, Massacre was the Deadpool from Mexico. That's simply put what he was. He was a huge Deadpool fan. Don't have any idea what happened to them. But I think this is Slapstick's first appearance since, well, he quit working with the original Mercs Money. I think this was back in the third issue of the ongoing series of Deadpool Mercs Money. Yeah, the original incarnation quit. Yeah, they quit. And then started with issue 4 up until the final issue of that brief ongoing series. It was a completely different lineup. So it's great the fact that Josh Crowley brought him back, which got praised for that. And it was a pure fun story. Now, I don't have any idea if this title is going to continue with Marvel Fresh Start. I hope it does, because I really enjoy this series. Now, this one is definitely a step up from what happened in the last book. And I'm going to give this book a 9.5 out of 10, because I actually kind of enjoy this. Yep. So, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which will be episode... And I want to get this right, though. Excuse me. It'll be episode 546 and Doubleshot 452. Okay? But until I see you in the next episode, bye.